Hi, I'm Ariel.
And I'm Becca.
And welcome to Wine Wednesdays.
So, another kind of tough one. How do you handle working under pressure?
Ooh,
Does it come natural?
Yeah, I think it's really come natural, but because it even sent back to college too, because I was a procrastinator. So, and I thrive under pressure.
That's interesting. I would not take you as a procrastinator.
Oh yeah, I was I was a big one. Yeah, I waited the last night because I knew that the stuff that I was going to be writing or working on was going to be brilliant, or maybe it was just because it was the last down to the wire, and I was like, it's whatever, just
but that
pushing
makes
it
sense,
out.
Actually, it makes sense and it doesn't, but in the sense that you work, I know because I work with Ariel, and you work very well under pressure and almost thrive on those go wrong situations, those Murphy's Law weddings.
I do, because I like being the problem solver. I feel like that's definitely been something that I've done my entire life, is try to keep the peace in the family, problem solve through things, trying to figure it out. But again, I think I never really thought about the Rubik's Cube until today.
It's a great analogy and makes a lot of sense. So that's awesome. Have you had any situations where you felt like there was nothing else you could have done, or do you go back and regret anything from certain weddings?
I don't think I regret anything, and that's just because, and personally, I like to use the saying, never regret anything, because at some point you wanted it.
So true.
So I don't really like to think of regret. I think that there's always something, as a designer and a planner, there's always something that you could improve. There's always something that you wish that you would have thought of doing, at some point. Like looking at those photos, I'm like, oh, I should have done that. Oh, I should have done that. But that's just the designer and the creative, person within me.
That's a perfect answer, because I hate regret. I think it's such a stupid emotion and thing, so I think that's a great answer.
They're all life lessons after all.
Yeah, it is. And exactly, like you could go back from your first wedding and say, I regret doing this and this happening, but look what it made you be.
I think if I were to go back to that wedding, the only regret is not having enough staff.
Okay, that's like a fair improvement and regret, I guess.
Oh yeah, why do you think our teams are how big they are these days?
I really need it. Have you ever had situations with your staff where you felt like you had to step in and be that mother bear? Any instances?
Absolutely, I have.
I know that.
Nobody, they're my minions. I mean, I call them my minions. I mean, I feel like that's better than calling them my cherubs. Fat angels. Oh gosh. Sorry, this tray. But, honestly, I'm like a mama bear. Like, you don't disrespect my staff. You don't put your hands on my staff. You don't yell at my staff. Like, if you want to yell at somebody, you come to me. I can take it. And they can too, but it's the principle of the matter. I mean, I'm very protective over all of my girls and Dan, of course. And, but, there really isn't a time where I'm not just always protecting you guys and looking out for you guys, to be honest. I mean, how would you answer that question? Do you think that I do that?
Oh, for sure. I mean, I said I knew the answer because you're definitely a mama bear, and, we've had situations where you've stepped in for us, and not in like a demeaning way that we couldn't handle it, but you're just very much, you take the lead.
No, I mean,
in the ways that you need to be.
We're definitely fair planners, we're definitely kind planners, but you offend my staff, the claws come out. I mean, I don't really know other way to put it. Literally, but also even stems even to our personal lives, like with their boyfriends and their fiancés. I have to meet them. If they're not gonna, I mean, honestly, I can tell if they're going to last or not just by one conversation with them.
Good intuition.
Oh yeah. I think I'm going to be a good mom, though.
You will.
I hope so. I've learned a lot with all you girls, let me tell you.
Very good example.
Yeah, oh my gosh. I know how I'm going to handle my child during their teen years and beyond. I'm going to do it with grace.
With grace and patience.
And flying colors. Yes, patience. Always patience.
So with that being said, at what point do you personally go to the client if there's an issue? Like, at what point do you try to handle it on your own and then have to tell them?
I think it's really case-by-case scenario. It depends on the scenario where we're at in the day as well, but usually after the event, because I never want to take that away from them.
That's great, yeah. What's the biggest advice you've been given, either personally or professionally, that's affected you in your work?
Positive outlooks equals positive outcomes.
Oh, so true. In what way have you seen that?
I mean, I use that personally. If you can change and spin the narrative to not see it as such a bad thing. I mean, this is like pretty much like when it comes to a bad scenario.
Yeah.
And you spin it to, make it seem in a different light of things, then there's no way it can be seen badly. So if you take, say, the first wedding, that was a horrible day for us as planners and in the team and everything. And they were survivors. Let's just be real with how they were with us that day. But while that was a very stressful day, I guess you could say, I turned that narrative to be like something of a learning experience. So yes, it was really hard, but we made through it. We got through it. We persevered through the day, and it taught us a lot of things. So it became a good outcome in my eyes, is that I learned so much and I changed so many things within the business to be where we are today.
That's awesome. That's amazing.
Thank you.
So with that, do you think owning a business is stressful? Do you face hardships with like busy season versus non-busy season?
Yes, owning your own business is very, very stressful, but it's also rewarding at the same time.
Yeah.
So, just trying to manage that stress is always a big thing, but know that you're doing good, For all those, entrepreneurs out there, you're doing a great job. Continue doing it. And if you are going through stress, it's not going to rain forever.
Oh, beautifully said again. That's so true. And so how do you handle like those rainy seasons where you're not performing as good as you'd want, or, it's the winter here at wedding season?
Well, during, I guess, off season, as I said earlier, I don't really sleep very much. I mean, I gave up sleep, but during the off season, I hibernate.
Yeah.
I literally go into hibernating and I sleep for like a couple weeks straight. No. But no, we do other activities and other things. We also get geared up for the new season.
For sure.
So while, it's slow, we're not doing really any events during this time, we're getting ready for everything that comes and helping our clients in their starting process of planning.
Yeah, it's definitely a good reset, and you get to sleep.
I get to sleep, yes.
And we do a lot of social media, which is great.
That's when I have all my dates.
There you go, winter dates. So with our company, I could answer this my own way, but I want to know, what do you think sets us apart at Ariel Events?
Ooh, that's a good question. What sets us apart? Again, we're for the client. We work with budgets and visions. I think that's actually the biggest one, is that we work with budgets and visions. True. And we're not going to give you a price because we're not going to charge you for things that you don't want in your package. So I feel like with a lot of other planners out there, they are cookie cutter. They're like, this is what you're getting. Yeah. This is what it costs. Where we're like, okay, we'll work with you. We'll help you out. We do payment plans also. We also take on the payments for the vendors. So the client can pay us and then we pay their vendors, so they don't have to worry about it. Plus, I know it's a joke, but it's the truth. Stamps cost a lot of money.
They do.
I mean,
went up.
Yeah, they did just go up. Exactly. So, I mean, it's just so much work for them as well. Yeah. So I like to try to make it as, easy and stress-free for them. Now, I always tell clients, and you know this, that we can never help self-induce stress. So anything other than that, we can help you out with. But if you're self-inducing yourself with the stress, I'm sorry, but I can't help you. I know, literally. That's where that line gets drawn in the sand, I guess.
For sure. No, but that's really good. I think, like you said, you have to have that boundary with our clients. Like if they want a welcome sign and they just can't afford it, you always have that little surprise element. And there's always one thing at a wedding that Ariel surprises clients with. And I'm not going to say anything else with that. But you throw some fun things in.
Well, yeah, because I get to know them beyond just being one of our clients. I get to know them as like a friend or family. And, also there's sometimes where I know this item, whatever it is at the time, can really bring the whole vision together. And so without a doubt, I want to surprise my client. I want to always exceed their expectations. Yeah. So sometimes I'll make sure that I ask my clients if they're okay with surprises, because sometimes they're just like me in type A. Like for my wedding, nobody better surprise me.
Yeah.
But,
and you're like, yay,
yeah, thanks. So where do we put this thing? How do I not let them notice that I just hid this? But, it's just truly that.
Yeah, we're going to have my sister in for an episode, but one thing my sister said.
No, I know what she told me. I'll never forget it because I got really emotional. She told me that every time that she sees me, it calms her and it gives her peace of mind. That it was right before the rehearsal, and she literally came to me and she was like, I see you and I just feel all the stress go away. Aww. And from a client telling me that, it's, one of the most humbling and satisfying statements. And it was just her seeing me, and that I'll never forget that statement. Yeah.
That's amazing. Yeah, we really do like to surprise and give you that like I can breathe again feeling, because it's a lot on your wedding day. But yeah, my sister will have her in and she can talk more about Ariel. So compared to regular events, is there anything differently you do for wedding clients?
Oh yeah, I mean the whole wedding itself
it's
process is completely different than an event, but for our brides and grooms, we'll go and check in on them right when we get there, make sure that everything's good, make sure that they're feeling okay. Even the night before too, we always make sure that they get a good night's sleep. I check in with the mom and the maid of honor and make sure that they don't work at all, and that the stress level is like minimized. And also, then we also pump them up and just tell them how beautiful they are inside and out, and make sure that they feel comfortable in whatever they're wearing, or whatever the way that their makeup feels or looks, and their hair and everything. And there are times where they've been like, I don't like my hair, and I'm like, okay, I got you. And I bring out like the curling iron and all that stuff, and I'll just style their hair.
That's awesome. Oh, hold on.
Giving them that extra treatment is always something that, going the extra mile and giving them that extra treatment is always something that I've wanted. Because if my hair did not look right, I would want you to be like, I got you.
Yeah, for sure. So what are some tips you would give either to a wedding planner starting out or just somebody who's looking to start their own business?
Try to get a internship or try to work for someone. I started out in the rental industry, then I dipped into the catering industry, and then I started my business. So I would recommend for anybody to get your ground or your footing in the back end of the industry, because that truly helped me out. And I think it could even, because you were in the rental industry as well, so I'm sure that you can advocate for that being also a very good, stepping stone for you.
Absolutely, yeah, related fields is definitely.
And, if somebody's not giving you a chance, forget them. I was going to say screw them. Just do it yourself. Don't let anybody tell you that you're not good enough or that you can't do it, or, that the challenge is too much and that you're going to fail, because you're going to rise to the occasion, guaranteed. And if you're looking for an internship, give me a call.
I'm like getting chills. That was so beautifully said, and very true, because it's hard to get it going. Would you say there's things somebody who's starting a business needs to know, like, that you wouldn't know? People just think it's just fun or whatever. There's legal things.
Fill out the legal documents yourself. Don't have somebody charge you $900 to do it like they did for me. That would be the biggest thing. Yeah, just, do your research. Make sure that it's something that, really you want to. Don't just go in and just, again, I said, like, don't let anybody tell you can't do it, but make sure this is something that you really want to do, because you give up a lot to be doing the industry especially the event planning and the wedding industry. I mean, you're giving up weekends, you're giving up social events and things like that, but it's one of the most rewarding jobs, and I wouldn't be doing it if I didn't love it.
Thank you guys so much for watching this special episode where we get to learn more about Ariel and what she does and why this company is what it is. So thank you for watching. Feel free to like and subscribe, and give us your questions, what you want to know about us as wedding planners and about the industry.
See you next week.